Hey everyone, it's Kenji. I'm about to make some fried rice for dinner and I thought you might want to see it. So this is not my first fried rice video, obviously, but so today I have this leftover rice from a Chinese takeout place a couple days ago. I'm gonna start my wok preheating. Oh, so wok preheating, by the way, you always want to make sure your wok is really nice and hot. One of the problems with using a Western range is that the flames are spread out because with Western pans you want a nice even heat over the base of a wide pan, whereas with woks you typically want the flame to be concentrated right in the center. You can, of course, just move your wok around kind of like this to preheat that center properly. But what I'm going to do is if you have a gas burner, this is something you might be able to do at home. Really depends on your specific burner. But you can take off the ring there, the diffuser plate, and then get a jet of flame right here. This doesn't actually increase the heat in the wok. In fact, it probably decreases it a little bit because you're not burning the fuel as efficiently when it's all blowing up there. You're not getting as much oxygen in there, but you are getting the flame concentrated in the center, which is what you want. Let's do a 3-egg fried rice, a very eggy fried rice. So the fried rice we're doing is kind of a Yangzhou style, so what would be called sort of the house special fried rice in most Western restaurants, which is a mix of proteins. In this case, I'm doing egg, I'm doing some leftover rotisserie chicken, not rotisserie chicken, but leftover roast chicken from the other day that I made, and a pork chop that I chopped up. Oh, as well as some shrimp. So we got some shrimp dumplings from a restaurant the other day, and my kids ate some of them, but then ate just the skins from the dumplings and left the shrimp filling. So I also chopped up that leftover shrimp filling, and so I'm going to add that to the fried rice as well. Also doing some onions and carrots, some frozen peas, and some scallions. So that's the bulk of our fried rice. This rice was from the restaurant, leftover. All I did was spread it out on a tray, stick it in the fridge. It's a relatively thick layer here, so I did actually one point in the middle kind of flip the rice over to make sure that both sides of it were nice and dry. But what you're really looking for is rice that has nice individual grains like this, not sticky clumps. That's gonna make your fried rice much easier to cook. All right, so we're gonna start by cooking the eggs. Hot wok. Adding just a little bit of oil here, a couple tablespoons. Give it a little swirl around. Pour our eggs right in. These are going to kind of puff up immediately. I'll let that first side cook for just a moment. Then I'll give it a flip. I'm going to keep my eggs kind of half cooked here. All right, and that's about it. As long as you have a hot wok to start with that's properly preheated, your eggs should not stick when they go in. Next I'm going to go in with a little more oil. And I'll go in with my carrots and onions here. Stir fry this briefly, maybe 30 seconds. You see I'm doing everything in batches here to make sure that the wok is nice and hot before adding each ingredient. So just enough to get the carrots starting to soften. Everything is going to cook one more time, so we don't have to worry about fully cooking it at this point. Let the wok preheat one more time. A little more oil. Finally, we're going to go in with our rice. If your rice is sort of extra sticky and not really separate grains like that, one trick you can do with it is add a little pinch of cornstarch to it and kind of fluff it with your fingers. And then when it's in the skillet, when it's in the wok, use the back of a ladle to kind of break it up like that. Although this rice is pretty separate, so I don't really have to worry about that too much. Get my meat in there to reheat it. Get my scallions in there too. Okay, and we can get all of our eggs and vegetables back in. You saw there's still quite a bit of liquid egg in there, and that's okay. Just gonna kind of cook around the rice. Break up that egg a little bit. All right, we're looking good. All right, for seasoning, we're gonna keep it simple. You could do, you know, soy sauce in there. You could do oyster sauce. Typically, this dish is seasoned only with salt, some white pepper, and some MSG. You can do a little touch of sugar in there too, just a little touch. If you wanted to, you know, if you're someone who likes to have it a little more heavily seasoned, you could add some Chinese rice wine in there, splash it, a little splash of that, as well as a little splash of soy sauce if you want. But I tend to like the flavor mainly of just the wok and the ingredients. Finally, finish it off with some frozen peas. You don't really have to thaw them. These are basically just sitting on the counter for maybe 10 minutes while I was prepping the other ingredients. They will thaw real fast in the rice itself. All right, and that's about it. Fried rice. Let me grab a little spoon to very simple, very fast. Once I started cooking, what did it take? Maybe just a few minutes, 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. And this is a pretty big portion of it. If you're doing, you know, a more reasonable sized portion for just a couple people, it'll be done in, you know, 3 minutes. Really nicely seasoned. Wok, smokiness.
All right, that's real quick fried rice, mainly made with leftovers. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.